I want to tell you guys a story. When I was a little kid, my teacher pulled me aside and said she was concerned. This is 4th grade. I was new to a big school. I'd previously been in a very small private Spanish immersion school, so I was now in a big public school system. I was saying sorry for everything. Everything I did. I essentially was apologizing for the air I was breathing. I just had this instinct to apologize. I didn't know I was doing it. She brought it up to my attention. I want to fast forward to last year. I'm with my housemates, and I tell one of them in the morning that I'm not going to have any dessert or any treats in the evening. Well, that evening comes around. I've completely forgotten that I even made this goal, and I tell that same roommate, our housemate, that I was about to get a bowl of ice cream. And the housemate went, "What happened to not eating ice cream tonight? I thought you said you weren't going to." I proceeded to go on a 5-minute rant in a fully activated mind space, meaning I had a hormone dump, adrenaline, cortisol, stress hormones, trying to explain to this housemate why I decided to have some ice cream that night, to get him to understand, to hopefully get him to be on board. This is all very subconscious, highly reactive. A couple, 2-3 minutes into this like frantic explanation that I was giving him, he goes, whoa, dude, do whatever you want. It's fine. I was just asking. So while I was in therapy and treatment, one of the things that kept coming up, stemming from what I just said, was this strange and incessant need to apologize for things that weren't worthy of an apology, that didn't demand one or require one, and to explain myself for things that didn't require an explanation. It came up a lot, and if you're working with a good group and you have a good team and you have a good therapist, they're going to call you on these things until you start to improve the behavior, until you start to adapt. So one of the biggest things I had to let go of was needlessly explaining myself and saying sorry for things that didn't require an apology, to hold space for myself, to own my thoughts, own my wants, own my truths unapologetically. It's not easy if you come from a background like me where your ability to internally self-validate was poor and not greatly reinforced, and your need for external validation and codependency was really, really nurtured. Not necessarily in any sort of malicious, intentional way, but if you like me, I can like me. If you tell me what I'm doing is good, I can believe what I'm doing is good. If you're mad, I can't be well, right? Horrible, horrible codependency and poor self-esteem. So we worked on it, and it's been one of the most profound things that's ever happened in my life, is letting go of this incessant impulse to explain myself and apologize for things that I have no reason to and no business explaining or apologizing for. It takes practice, but it changed my life forever. So I want to invite you to look at your own life, look at your own relationships, look at your own sense of self, and ask yourself, am I explaining things that no one requested an explanation for? Or am I explaining things preemptively out of fear of what someone will say or think, potentially, if they knew what I really wanted or why I really did something? Do you have the skill and the capacity to just say what you think and let it be that? To do what you did but not explain yourself? Do you have the skill to not apologize for things you're not actually sorry for? These are things I have to ask myself to this day. It's really liberating to not spend so much energy trying to curate other people's thoughts and perceptions and just to free yourself of them. I think this all leads really, really nicely into more self-soothing, more self-security, and less mind reading and less ownership of other people's feelings. These are my thoughts. I'm trying to knock out 30 videos in 30 days. Those are a couple powerful things that I learned in therapy. And please, in the comment section below, what do you think has been one of the most profound things you've ever learned in therapy? Or what's some sage wisdom that you can share with us about anything, right? That might lead to a better sense of self, better sense of wellness, and more confidence. You don't necessarily have to feel good when you're not explaining yourself, but you have to do the act, right? I think the act in and of itself helps minimize hormone dumps that a lot of us experience when we are trying to defend ourselves to the people or powers that may be. You let that stuff go, it's like, okay, I'm all right. You know, you can just be okay. Thank you for your time. We'll see you guys tomorrow.